day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
I see some gas on this. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop. You're finished.
Hey, first down. This is a weird kid. Worse than that, sorry.
Well, hello. What you guys doing? Oh shit, I got the wrong camera on. Hold on just a second. Bear with me, my friends. Always something with this guy, with this GreenBean fella. Merrill, the camera's not working. Hold on, let me see. So what's up, man? Did you guys have a good 2 hours with us before? You know what I mean? That was pretty good, right? Let me see here. Input. Maybe I'll just do it with this camera. Hold on. It went back to because I'm not on the same medium. I'm on StreamYard. So what do I do here?
All right. So
this is my wife, everybody. Cam mic. Let me see.
Yeah. You're going to go.
Camera.
Yep. That's going to be it. You got it.
There it is.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. I think so. Yeah. Here we go. We did it. So what's good, my friends? You guys like this new intro I put in there? What do you guys think of that? I put a lot of work into that freaking thing. You guys like that? Number one, what's up, PG? It's good to see you. It's good to see you guys, man. Christopher Merkovich is here. Garrett Ham, Chris Bradigan, John Post, Red Dog, Jets Forever. Liam's here. Oh, man. Curly Norman, David Gerard, Friggle D. Friggle D, did you get that late night snack, my friend? Yeah, Mr. Magic's, Ultimate Clashers, Pickle Pants. What's up? So, the intro's good, right, Liam? Yeah, man. So, look, I'm going to tell you guys something. You guys, as you guys know, the scourge of my existence, right? Like we're friends. This is I love these smaller podcasts because, or not podcasts, but live streams. It gives us a chance to kind of peel it all back and we kind of get to know each other, right? So as you guys know, let me see something. Is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely the right camera. All right. As we know, the scourge of my existence has been Wi-Fi and glitchy kind of stuff, right? I'm always dealing with shit as I travel around and everything. So believe me when I tell you, as aggravating as it can be on your end, when I'm on a live stream and it cuts out or whatever, it's 10 times worse over here. Like I lose my mind constantly because I'm trying really hard to, not only build this thing, but like if I'm going to be out here talking to you, I want to be able to do it. Like not just drag you guys through a monotonous display of fucking inadequacies. You know what I mean? So, but we figured it out, I think. Like right now, and I was watching it, like this is a brand new camera setup, a new lighting package. I've decided to bring it inside because the outside, it's too fickle. I liked being outside and all that sort of stuff. Gets me away from the kids and everything. But anyway, I feel really good. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel really good about where I'm going with the setup. And I think we might just be onto something here, man. Wouldn't that be cool if when you guys watched me, I wasn't glitching out? Holy shit. It's been a year and a half. All right. I'm going to play the intro again for everybody who's been here. Let me know what you think. This is, I'm trying to develop my editing skills and all that. There's something in here I don't like, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. But let me know what you guys think. Here it is.
Going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
I see some gas on this. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop. You're finished.
Hey, first down. This is a weird kid. Worse than that, sorry.
There it is. So what do you guys think? The clocks, right? That's because it's us. It's the after hours show. So that's what I did. I put the clocks in there like it's too late. Yet here we are. You know what I mean? Pink Floyd, right? Red Dog, you feel that a little bit? You feel it? I know. It's my first thought. When I put the clock sound on it, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is time. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, man. As a matter of fact, I just watched another hour-and-a-half I've seen documentaries on Floyd. I know more about Floyd than Floyd knows, and I watched yet another documentary on them 3 days ago. I put it on before bed, and I was like, thought I'd go to sleep, and I didn't. But, yeah, Twilight Zone, right, PG? That's right. That's right. So, right, Finkelstein says Twilight Zone as well. You're not alone. But thank you, David. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So good. Thank you, Chris. I do appreciate it because like it takes me a little bit longer than it would take like a Ryan. Ryan is exceptional with this stuff. Like I pick his brain regularly. He's always helping me out. Ryan is so good with just technical stuff. He's of that generation. And even within that generation, he's good at it on top of it. So with me, it takes what it would take Ryan probably 15 minutes to do probably takes me 2 hours. So that's the price of the beard, yo. But I got a beard and he doesn't, right? So what's up, man? Let's what was with all the Carolina trolls in Ryan's stream? Don't they understand what is coming with Darnold? Well, they don't. And here's the thing. Here, let me tell you this about like when we get guys from other teams in here, like Ryan is very active out there in the other teams. And I do a little bit of it, but not anywhere near what him and Richie, they do a lot of different live streams and stuff with different fans. So what that does is it expands his viewers. So they were talking with him last week prior to the game. So they're definitely going to come back afterwards and all that. So, and me, like you guys know, especially in Ryan's stream, and I do it on my own too. Like I'm a moderator in Ryan's stream, and my job on that show is not only to talk. My job is to connect with the chat, right? So that's what I do. Like Ryan, Matt, and I, like we talked about our dynamic back in the day, in the earlier going. And so one of the things, that's why it always looks like I'm spaced out. I'm like, wait, what? What are you guys talking about? Because I'm usually talking with one of you guys in the stream, or sorry, in the chat. So anyway, I let guys go. Like if they're just talking football, if they're doing a little bit of razzing, like it's part of the deal. You know what I mean? But like a few people ask me, like, why are the trolls still here? And it's like, talking football, talking a little bit of smack is different than somebody trolling, like somebody coming in to try to hurt your feelings and try to be a douchebag. Like I'll bounce those guys. I'll give them a warning and I'll say, dude, like, that guy, there's a guy Barabbas who shows up all the time. I see him now and I just knock him out. I just say, get out of here because I know what he is. So there's a few guys like that, but most, generally speaking, we'll let those guys hang because one of the things like before the internet, a lot of you guys know, like our thing with being a fan was we would watch the games like with some friends, but before, I remember when Direct TV came, it was like a whole big thing. But usually what we would do is get together. I had my Dallas fan friends, I had my Niner fan friends, my Miami, and we'd get together and we'd hang out and we'd have a football day. You know what I mean? That's what we do. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. And believe me, we busted each other's chops, man. I've gotten into fist fights over the Jets, like with friends. No exaggeration. I'm sitting here watching them lose, and if they get to the point, like they can bust my balls, but it's like if once you get to the point where I say, all right, dude, clearly I'm not happy, I'm not in the mood, and they keep going, there'd be fights. It happened all the time with my friends. I had a rough crew. But, they were kind of subdued. It was a little. If one more comment went to a certain direction, I was going to say something. But yeah, that's the whole thing. We got to let that happen too, unless they're literally trolling. If they're only there to try to upset, then I bounce them. I don't want that shit. You know what I mean? So let's see what Craig, what's up, man? Hey, GreenBean, love your style, man. You are my go-to for the Jets. Nice, thank you. I really think we need to give our boys a pass on that first half. Youngest team in the league. Let's hope the third half is even better. Yeah, I agree. Like, look, like Matt said it really well tonight. He's like, we have to be able to take our homer hat off, for lack of a better term, and look at the team objectively, really. And I think it's not always so easy to do that. Sometimes like it's aggravating to watch you, like, you root all off season and you build it up and then they come out and lay an egg and it's hard to just kind of accept that, like, yeah, great time. Like, it's not fun. At the same time, I think it's also realistic to understand, like, we want this. We want a young, hungry staff that is packed full of guys who are super talented. We want a young roster that is packed full of guys that are super talented. We want all of this, but it's going to be aggravating watching it. Now, I'm not happy with a lot of things. Like, in my opinion, we absolutely have to protect Zach Wilson. I don't give a shit about long-term plans. Like, job number one is to protect that kid. He needs to be protected. He cannot be taking sacks like that again. Blindside sacks, 2 300-pound dudes landing on him and his head banging off the turf. Can't do it. So there's reason to be upset. At the same time, I agree, Craig. I think it's like, these are good times. We're going to watch a large portion of the guys we have in there, if they could freaking stay healthy, a large portion of these guys are part of the long term. And that's what's so that's what psyched me up about it so much. Look at guys like Michael Carter II, dude. He was a 5th round pick. Or was he a 6th? I think he was a 5th round pick. Look at guys like, like Brandon Echols. Look at guys like Bryce Hall. Like, Bryce Hall was a 5th round pick last year. Dude, he locked down his dude. He had 1 reception for 9 yards on him. Now, granted, it wasn't the Chiefs. What do you want to keep things in perspective? But Bryce Hall is a damn good football player, and we got him in the 5th round. So there's a lot of that stuff. Getting to see guys like Elijah Moore. Dude, he threw up a clam. There's no other way to say it. He sucked. But we also know that he's so uber talented that that's not what's going to happen. He's just had his first game. So it's I know. So that's where it is. But I agree, Craig. We're the youngest team in the league. And somebody was mentioning it last night. I think it might have been JW. One of you guys, forgive me, was saying, I think that he thinks the youngest team in the league thing actually goes to our coaches too. Like, youngest coaching in the league. I looked that up. I didn't find it, but that would be crazy. Like, think about this. Let me tell you another stat. This is the youngest team that we've ever started an opening day with in Jets history. It's also the youngest team on an opening day in the NFL in 10 years. You know what I mean? There are certain things coming with that, All right, let's see what else you got. He was a 5th. Thank you, Wat2K99. I'm just going to start calling you Wat2K. Is that cool? Let me know. All right, let me back it up. Packer, right? Garrett says Packers laid an egg too. Just saying, the season has just begun and the Jets are finding their identity. Yeah, agree. I think the only thing that concerns me, really, not the drop passes, not the line stunts, all those things. Like, we're going to get it. The only thing that concerns me is Zach getting his ass beat while we figure this out. Like, to me, that has to be first. Has to be. But the thing is, guys, we have a lot of good linemen. And we have depth. We just lost a 1st-round left tackle, and we have an NFL left tackle in there. Now, he might not be a world beater, but he's an NFL left tackle. Like, he can play tackle in this league. He played all year last year. Granted, it was right tackle, but we have legitimate NFL guys. Behind him, we have a 4-year vet swing tackle in Chuma Edoga. Like, he might not be the guy you want to see in there, but it's still better than some noob coming off the bench who's never seen it before. It's like, he's been there. Chuma Edoga is a versatile guy, and he's better than people give him credit for. He really should be on the right side optimally, but he can swing tackle. So, like, we have depth. The only thing is the guard position. We still have depth, but it's all young. But don't forget, we had a guy retire. We had Cam Clark go on IR. So, shit. You know what I mean? It's tough sometimes. The thing is, we got to get these damn injuries in check. We got to get these injuries in check, man. It's no joke right now. Poor Blake Cashman. You got to feel for that guy. At least I do. All gas, no break. What's up, my friend? Rewatched some of Zach plays again. Walked away very excited. The kid has a live arm and underrated athleticism. Not just that, very tough. But he clearly has it between the ears. What were your thoughts? I think you nailed it, man. The things that I was most impressed, because going into the draft, like everybody, as we split down the middle, right, during, as it gets closer to the draft, there was the Zach Wilson's the best ever crowd. He's the next Aaron Rodgers. He's combo of Mahomes and Rodgers. And there was that bunch. Then there was the bunch saying he sucks, never played any competition, all that sort of stuff. Justin Fields is better. And then there were guys just like, hey, we should trade back. Like Zach or Fields isn't good enough not to take the trade back and take a Mac Jones or a Kyle Trask or whatever it is. Me personally, I was totally fine with Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. I would have, whoever the coaching staff liked, I would have been good with. I liked both players. My concern with Zach Wilson was exactly what we got some answers to on Sunday. Number one, can he really deal with pressure in the NFL? Because it's not going to be like it was at BYU. Like 9 out of 10 passes, he was completely comfortable back there. Got to scan the field. That was a concern. It's a valid concern. And it's not saying he's not talented. It was like, talented, but it's like, we got to see if this guy can do it. The other thing was he is a bit on the smaller side. He is. He's slight in some respects. And I wanted to see if he could legitimately take a licking and keep on ticking. He did both. Now, again, it's not what we want to see, but we did. He was eluding some serious pressure. And you know what? He was alluding, and this is to your last comment there, but that he clearly has it between the ears. He wasn't running in a panic. He was always looking downfield. He was like, leaving guys behind, pushing them aside, juking, but his eyes were downfield the whole time. That's the best, man. That's a big deal. He's got that innate, intangible ability to play quarterback in the NFL. And I love it, man. If we protect him, I think we're going to see some serious football playing. Chris says, there's no team I hate more than the Jets. Yeah, this was expected. I just want them to win. Yeah, dude, tell me about it. It's like, you ever hear like, I'll take off, I'll put on my therapy hat for a minute. A lot of the time, we treat ourselves pretty poorly. Like our inside of our head, we hear voices a lot of time like, oh, you suck or you're ugly, whatever it is, all those kinds of things. And the truth is that we would never let anyone treat us the way that we treat ourselves a lot of the time. Like just like all this stuff, like you drop a pencil and then you go fucking idiot, like stuff like that. Like you wouldn't hang out with somebody who said that to you every 10 minutes or whatever. The same things with the Jets. Like, dude, why do I can't believe like the onslaught of abuse. Sam Tarabi was just the most recent version of it. Why do we let these guys do this to us? But it's just, hey, we're stuck. I'm just glad I didn't get a Jets tattoo yet. I almost got one when I was 19. I was going to put it right here on my bicep, but the 90s Jets helmet, I'm glad I didn't. It would have been very two-dimensional and everything. If I'm going to do it, I'd like it to be nice three-dimensional and shiny like a new tat. But, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't do that. I used to have my Jet sneakers and everything. Rhule P's sitting down. Yeah. If you guys saw my podcast, I just released it today. The Greenbeanjetsfan episode 37. I very organically made a name for Matt Rhule, and I put up a little graphic. I named him Rat Rhule for all the little tricks that he pulls. And that's the thing. Like, look, I'm a little bit old school. I am. And that's okay. Me, I like sportsman-like gestures. I like it. It's like I don't. On the field, I want them to play like warriors. We got no friends on the field, all that. But I like handing the ball back to the ref. I like picking a guy up off the field. Like I like that stuff. It's just who I am. So the idea of like, the number change and all that kind of shit just doesn't sit well with me. I get it. It's in the rules. You can do that. But me, I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what is that? So Matt Rhule P sitting down. I'm with it. I know. Get Mo Bob. What do you make of that, guys? What do you make of the PFF grade on our lines? They were like favorable. That's what I'm saying. Like, as valuable as PFF grades are, and clearly those guys are paying attention on a level that I can't even conceptualize. It's fair to say that. But I got to tell you, man, sometimes I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, I look right at the play. They're grading this way, and I see the exact opposite. And I've been watching football since I'm 8 years old. You know, again, I'm not an analytics guy. I look at it. I factor it in sometimes. I pay attention. But, dude, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's the thing with me. It's like we can't go all the way into analytics. There are some guys I talk to, that's all they speak. Oh, yeah, but PFF. It's like, okay. I don't know. I see it differently. You know? Pass the ball. Jets forever. What's up, my friend? Pass the ball at all costs unless the carries are going to Adams and Pirine. Well, let me say this on that. Number one, Pirine's injured, unfortunately. Tell you, man, that draft class has got the curse, dude. They can't stay on the field. I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about Bryce Hall because God forbid, right? But like Cam Clark, Ashton Davis, Pirine, Zuniga, they cannot stay healthy. Now Becton's out. It's like, I don't know, man. And Mims can't get on the field for whatever the frig that reason is. So, but Pirine, one of the things that he brings to the table is blocking. He's a very good pass protector. So that's something that we were missing. Like Ty Johnson, not so good, man. Not so good. Not terrible, but definitely not good. And I didn't see Michael Carter blocking at all. I just didn't see that. But I saw Ty Johnson get taken advantage of a little bit. Pirine helps in that respect. But here's the thing I want to point out. Every single year, there are players that light it up in preseason, and the Jets fans go nuts. And then when we get to the regular season, they don't do shit, man. Then next preseason, they do it again. And there are guys that's their – look, David Clowney, Stevie Anderson, Jack Trudeau, all these guys throughout the years. Frankie Louvu's a great one. The Panthers fans were so excited. I watched that stream with Ryan the other day, and it was like 200 Panther fans, 300 Panther fans in there, and they were so excited about Frankie Louvu. I cannot believe you let this guy go. He's going to fucking do this and that. And Frankie Louvu is a preseason guy. That's what he is. Now, he might do better down there. I'm not taking anything away from him, but every preseason we got in training camp, we got excited about Frankie Louvu. This is his year, and he would do 2 ticks above nothing. So there are guys that play well in training camp and preseason and practice. Then there are guys that play well in games. And a guy like Josh Adams, the good thing with him is that he has played well in the NFL. He was Philadelphia's leading rusher 3 years ago. So I don't know what the story is with him, but we got to be careful with guys that suddenly look good in preseason. Now, Pirine looked a lot better last year than people give him credit for. I made a whole video on it, but I just never released it because a few reasons. But I watched every single play of his last year, every run, probably 5 or 6 times, every single play. And he's a good running back, man. He's a good running back, but very similar to what we saw this week. Ty Johnson and Michael Carter are never going to get into a rhythm running it 4 times each. That's all they got. 4 rushes each. Conversely, Tevin Coleman had 9. He had twice as much as those guys, and then some. So I don't know. Like a lot of what I saw that bothered me is coaching errors. But again, they're brand new in this position. Mike LaFleur is going to take a minute, man. He's always had Kyle Shanahan. Always. Yeah, Friggledy. Coleman is a max special. That's the thing. Like, look, Coleman and Cashman and Blesson Austin were injured in college. Like, they were injury prone in college. So when we picked them, my first thought was like, what are we doing? Why are we taking these guys? That was the worst draft for me ever. And we've had worse, but maybe not. I mean, I just thought that draft made 0 sense from Quinnen all the way to Blesson Austin. Not one pick made sense to me. Chuma Edoga made sense, but I didn't love the player. I liked the position. I didn't love the player. And then Wesco, I loved as a player, but I didn't think that's what we needed. I wanted a center. I wanted, hey Frankie, I actually wanted Pierschbacher. That's whose name I was yelling when we took Wesco. I believe we were doing all these trades in the 4th round that year. Like Mac traded back like 3 times in the 4th round. And essentially all he did that for was to gain like 15, 20 spots in the 5th round. Silly. And he took Wesco. I wanted Ross Pierschbacher. And now we got him on our practice squad. So there's that. Free Mimsy. Tell me about it, Frank. Tell me about it. The Mims thing, I'm glad that Matt felt the same way as I did. I felt like in to some degree, I was kind of on an island with this Mims thing. Like Saleh's, I don't want to say excuse, Saleh's explanation for why Mims wasn't playing didn't sit well with me. It just didn't. That doesn't make sense to me. So you have a guy who, because he's not a starter, and should be, by the way, he should be receiver 2 or 3 at worst, in my opinion. Because he's not a starter, you keep him penned in because he's got to learn 3. He's got to learn the X, the Y, and the Z. Why is he learning the Y anyway? You know, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like you're making it harder for this guy to come in. What about Jeff Smith? Why is he running around then? He doesn't have to learn all positions? You know, it doesn't sit well. Now, I want to tell you, Denzel Mims never had that moniker of somebody who was slow. Now, he's mellow as far as thought process and getting the offense and swallowing it and playing. He never had that weakness. I studied Denzel. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, man. I haven't looked at Denzel Mims, what do you call it? The draft grade and all that. So I haven't looked at that stuff in a couple of years, but I don't remember that being an issue for him. He didn't struggle learning the offense at Baylor. So why is it learning it here? Why is he having a problem? Like, I don't understand. So this is one of those things where, again, my thoughts on the coaching staff are taking some hits, but they're green. They're going to learn. So when you look at like starting Fant over Moses, not playing Mims, keeping Tevin Coleman over Josh Adams, running Tevin Coleman 9 times in the game when you're 2 young bucks with young legs who drive constantly. They only get 4 carries a get. Like, why? There's a lot of decisions. Why aren't you running screens? Why aren't there any quick slants to slow the defense down? Why? Why aren't we slowing them down? Why can't we pick up line stunts? You know the players can. So I don't know. And Big Green's asking the same thing. Look, and if they like Berrios better than Mims, dude, that's fine. Berrios is someone who at least works. Like he's one of those guys who outworks his way to where he is, right? He's one of those guys. And if they love him, it's like, Corbett beating out the big 6'2" wide receivers of his day. Now, I'm not saying Berrios is Corbett, but it's like a guy who's kind of a little bit of an underdog and worked his way up. And if that's the way it is, that's great. But you cannot tell me that Mims is not as good as Berrios. You can't do it. You can't do it. And if Berrios has better practices than Mims, if you don't know by now that Mims is a gamer, then I don't know what the hell you're looking at. Even in just this preseason and yesterday or Sunday. I saw somebody who said, let's calm down about Mims. He didn't do anything on that play. The cornerback, fell or whatever. It's fine. But it just so happens that Mims got open and caught the ball for 40 yards. Okay? And that's the kind of thing. Maybe the size of Mims and the speed, the cornerback overthought it and fell. I don't know what the reason is, but that's the effect. So why didn't anybody else do that all game? Why didn't Berrios or Jeff Smith catch a 40-yard pass? And that's what Mims brings to the table. So I'm PO'd about it. I'm aggravated. But that said, it's going to be a long process. The coaching staff has to learn this stuff. Who's the right guy to play? Starting Fant over Moses was a mistake. You can't tell me otherwise. I don't get it. Mumtaz, my good friend, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Mims' explanation is driving me crazy. Also, pay attention to failures for 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2. It's so bad, I shudder when we are 3rd and short. Yeah. Look, when you can't get anything going, like you have not been able to establish the run game all day. So when we're 3rd-and-1, 3rd-and-2, why is it that you're trying the thing that you fail? If you let them think, bring in the big package, bring it in, let them think you're going to try to rush for 2 and play action that shit. Use the scenario, if not the success of the running game. Use the scenario to catch them. They're coming in, they're playing aggressive. Catch them. So we didn't see any of that. In my opinion, LaFleur was spinning. That's what I think. That's what I think. To my eyes, it looked like our offensive coordinator was spinning. It's his first time not going to Kyle Shanahan. Hey, here's what I think we should do. I wrote up this play. How about this? Like he can think about that without the stress of having to be the guy making the decision. And it is stressful. If anybody's been promoted from one position to like director or manager, it's different, man. Even though you know the job, you can know everything about the business. Making the decision is a different bag of tricks than somebody who's just the best employee. It's his first time ever doing that, and we saw it. It was clear as day, in my opinion. So, yeah, man. It's really interesting, Mumtaz. But that all said, that's actually good news for me. It's not like we brought in Chan Gailey, who's been an offensive coordinator and head coach in this league for 30 years. And now he's coming in and he's not like he looks like he's lost. Like, remember Paul Hackett? Like Hackett was I don't know. He's been an offensive mind for a long time. And he's just flat out made stupid decisions over and over and over again. LaFleur just looks like he was overwhelmed, like he was swimming, So it's good because these guys are so young. This is all experience. It's all coming. It's all coming. And don't forget, I don't want to throw this in as anything, but the truth is that we lost a very important cog to this offense. He was the passing game coordinator and / quarterback coach, assistant offensive. And that was Knapp, That was probably the security blanket for LaFleur. And then now we have Matt Cavanaugh, who's like, Greg Knapp light. But it's going to take a minute for those guys to work well together. You know what I mean? Analysis paralysis. That's it, PG. Overthinking everything. Not being able to settle into what you know. That's such a fantastic phrase. Analysis paralysis. Overthinking. Yeah. Like, did you notice Saleh? Like, he was still a rah-rah guy in the first half, right? He was still high-fiving his guys and that, but he had a different energy about him. He was like trying to be a head coach from my eyes. In the second half, it seemed to kind of shed. Now, maybe that was some of the excitement of a drive and a score. And that's all possible. But to me, it looks like Saleh's going to have to figure this out. How to be Robert Saleh, the excitable guy that he's been throughout the years and got himself here, and the CEO head coach. It's like, who am I supposed to be? Am I quiet? Am I John Harbaugh? Or am I Pete Carroll? Oh, you know what I mean? Like, what am I? He's gonna have to figure that out. So again, for me, it's like their talent is there. We just got to let them have their time to acclimate themselves and get loose. That's what it is. Like I said a million times, man, in the past week alone. If you've played football before or any professional sport, or if you've performed in theater or a comedian or with a band, dude, the nerves beforehand can be so intense that you puke. Or your hands are shaking and whatever. And then all of a sudden, like for me, I was a comedian. So I would walk out. I think I told you guys this the other day, but when I was a comedian, I'd walk out on the stage at Rascals or at the Ice House in LA and whatever it is. And there's 200 people in there. And you walk up and it's dark and quiet and you know that you can see all the faces. It's unnerving. You walk up, and what I did was I had a tried and true opener. I had a good opening line, and I would come out and I would say that, so I got a laugh within the first 30 seconds of me being on stage. Once they laughed, then I was cool. Then I was loose. If they didn't laugh at that, problems. My heart would start beating. You used to be able to see my heart through my chest, through my shirt. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys a story. Okay, you ready for this? George Carlin. I used to run with this group called the Bag of Nuts in New York City and New York and New Jersey. So we were a comedy group, and that we created, and there was like 5 or 6 comedians at different times, and we would all go out there and do shows, and then we would promote Bag of Nuts, and then Bag of Nuts, whatever. It was very well known for a few years there. We got on Opie and Anthony when they were big. We did shows everywhere. So George Carlin, we reached out to George Carlin. One of my guys did once. And he answered us. So we started talking to this guy, and he invited us when he played Westbury Music Fair. He invited us to come hang with him because we were chatting with him and all this sort of stuff. So we went backstage and we hung out with George Carlin for a little while. We took pictures and we hung out. And he was like talking shop with us about comedy. And he said, I want to tell you, because the best piece of advice I can give you guys is this. This is so beautiful. He said, when you walk into a show, like you walk on stage and you're giving them the best you got, and they, for some reason, they hate you. That's not funny. You have to remember it's not you. He goes, you think it's not possible for 3,000 assholes to walk in the same room at the same time? He's like, you're wrong. It happens all the time. 3,000 assholes will get up and drive to the same place at the same time and sit down in front of you. It happens. You know your jokes. You know what's good. If they don't like it, fuck them. It's not you. It's them. And you have to remember that if you're going to make that. So why did he develop that tactic? Why did he tell us that? Because he knows nerves will kill you. And when you're working and it's not working, like if you're dropping a pass or, you didn't block your dude, the nerves come in and you start that, just like PG's saying here, overthinking. And once you start overthinking, analysis paralysis, like it happens, man. It's very real. People were laughing at me like, oh yeah, that's what, because they were scared. I'm not saying they were scared. I doubt they were afraid of the Panthers, but they were nervous about the game. Spotlight. So let's see. I got a few super chats here. V-Man, my friend. We never got that thing last week, right? You were trying to send me something last week. I never, if you want to send it again, I don't know where you sent it. I looked. I don't recall seeing it. I felt bad. If you want to send it, man, I'll absolutely show it if I get it. So I'm sorry about that, man. V-Man, thank you for the super chat. Says, Pats don't scare me. Panthers didn't beat us. CMC did. Pats don't have anybody of that caliber. If we play smart, we will win. By the way, I'm typing this with an Oculus Rift virtual reality. Wait, so you're doing it like it's like there's a keyboard in front of you in space? Is that what you're doing? That's incredible. Virtual reality. My son got the PlayStation virtual reality, and we messed around. We had a Rick and Morty game. We had a haunted house. We had a bunch of stuff. I found it too difficult, man. I don't know. It was really cool at first, but I don't know. I sucked. I couldn't do it. I kept falling. It was like weird for me. I sucked. Well, on your point, though, I got to tell you, man, I absolutely agree. Now, that's not to say the Pats can't beat the hell out of us, because they can. But let's remember, they have a rookie quarterback too, a lower regarded rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. Now, everybody thinks it's going to be great because it's the Brady syndrome with Belichick and all that. So he's like the same type of quarterback going to the same type of program. I get it all. But the truth is we can get to this kid. We can rattle this kid. And if we can just get him a little bit off kilter, we can win this game. But Belichick's going to do everything he can. He already watched our offensive line get mauled with line stunts. If you think that they're not coming, he's going to do it again. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. He saw us get decimated by simple line stunts. Nothing too crazy. It was just stunts, regular old-fashioned stunts. And we couldn't pick it up at all. He's going to come and do the same thing, but better. So we have to slow that down from the beginning and make him adjust. Now, the bad news is Belichick can adjust on the fly in a second. He's quick like that. He's good. But I agree with you. I think C-Mac was their X factor. Their entire offense was C-Mac. Now, they did have a few plays that DJ Moore had one or two, catches, smaller stuff. But you had the big bomb to Robbie and all that. But overall, man, we were able to keep them in check. And that was our first game packed full of nerves and injuries and rookies and all that kind of stuff. We have a real good chance. And I think if our Jets crowd is passionate and loud, I think we're going to win this. I'm going to walk out of there with no voice. But you guys want to hear a secret about how to be real loud? Everybody goes, yeah. I'm going to tell you the secret. You're going to sound stupid and you're not going to be able to do it. A lot of people get embarrassed. But the trick is to, number one, you bang. It's all about the low tones. That's how you go. That's how you get really loud. Hey, get off my light. Dalinar. Good. My dog decided to lay on my light stick. You go like this. Oh, I can't do it. It's super late. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just doing a yelling tactic. Okay, I'm live. Yeah, good. Oh, yeah, it's done. High five. Come on, high five. Okay.
Fine. Can I make a smoothie?
No.
Come on.
All right, tell me when you're going to do it. But anyway, that's the trick to being loud and having your voice the whole night, the whole day. Oh, and it's louder. It's more consistent. I'm telling you, I learned these tricks. I'm old. I know all sorts of shit. But thanks, V-Man. I appreciate it. John Heibendahl. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Game of two halves. First half, they were flat and off. Second half, they did better. Isn't that also coaching changes that we haven't seen before? Something positive? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing to hang our hat on, is the fact that while they were spinning and all that sort of stuff, they did go in at halftime and adjust. They did. Now, I still didn't see screens. That their pass rush kept coming. We'd never addressed that. Hold on. Just get it done. Do it. Like that slow is just elongating the loud.
I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah. Just grabbing ice cubes one at a time. You know?
We live in an RV.
But yeah, the fact that we did it, there was no doubt we adjusted. You look at Sam's first half and Sam's second half. Sam's second half, we finally started getting to him. We're not in sacks, but we finally started getting to him. A little bit more pressure, getting closer. Sam started to get jittery, and he was off. The receivers were still out there. Some of them were open, but he was off. A little too high, a little too left. That's Sam. And I wish we were able to get to him in the first half, because that's the game we would have seen. Instead, like John's saying, it was a tale of two halves. And you're absolutely right. The fact that we went in there and changed is why I have so much faith. It wasn't like the Jets of old where we just packed it in at halftime. Came out completely flat, completely dead. Instead, we came out fighting. And that says a lot about the potential of the coaching staff. It's going to be a while, guys. But we're still winning this game. We're beating these sons bitches. These some bitches. You ready to do your thing? All right, bear with me. I'm going to play the intro again for everybody who didn't see it. My wife's going to use the blender. So let's do this. I'll turn me on mute and I'll play the intro. I'll be right back in just a few seconds.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
We compete today. I see some ass on the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop, you're finished.
Hey, first down. These are good. Get worse than that side.
Okay, good. There it is again. I'm making another one. I made one for Jetnation too. It's very similar. Let me show you guys that one. Tell me what you think real quick. And I see you guys talking about Carlin too. But thank you, John. I think you're absolutely correct. Absolutely. Let me show you this. Let me get the Jetnation thing here. I'm going to show you this one too. I made this for Jetnation. Let me know if you like it. What do you think? A little simpler. But, oh well. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You know, you got an old man with an editing software, rudimentary editing software, if I'm being completely frank. But I'm getting there. Guys. So let me see here. Just let me do one thing. Okay. So yeah, George Carlin, man. You know what we did? George Carlin used to call comedy clubs like we went out to LA. He would call the comedy clubs and ask people to take a look at us and stuff like that, like the guys at the Comedy Store or Laugh Factory or whatever. He'd say, hey, these guys are friends of mine. Take a look at them, give them a spot. And so we did that to get some additional work in LA when we were out there. But his girlfriend at the time was trying to break into comedy. Like he had his long-term relationship. I think she passed away. And so he had this younger girlfriend and she wanted to be a comedian. So he's like, what am I going to do for a girl starting in comedy? Like, I can't do anything. What am I going to fucking put her on at a big comedy show somewhere open for me? So he asked us, we were smaller, obviously. So he would ask us, we ran shows all across New York City, like down in the Village and at Kenny's Castaway down there on Bleecker. So at the New York Comedy Club. So we would give her shows. We would give her spots to work on her material and stuff like that. So we were able to help her. And then, so he helped us. It's cool, man. George Carlin was a very, very cool dude. Now, I'm not trying to pretend I was good friends with him or anything like that. I don't want to make it sound like that, but it was a great period of time. I felt very grateful that we had Carlin in our corner, super cool, man. It's a shame, man. It's just a shame. He died young. In my opinion, he was killed, but that's a whole different thing. We don't got to do that. He was rattling in the wrong cages, and that sucks. So let's see. Zach is a tough kid, Jeremy. I agree. Let me tell you this too. I'm not sure if you guys know about Frankie and Jeremy's show. I forget what day it is, guys. I'm sorry. But if you check out Frankie from Flatbush's channel, it's really good stuff. Frankie's impressive, man. And they do a live stream, Chaos and Calmness. I know. Well, at some point I should remember your damn stuff. But Chaos and Calm and Chaos, maybe. But it's really fun. And if you guys haven't checked it out, Frankie and Jeremy are a part of our crew, man. They're always in here with us in the chats. And you guys might want to check that out as well. But additionally, Jeremy and I on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Trying to get a more reasonable hour for our European Jets fans. 10 a.m. on Saturdays, we're doing Jets Worldwide. So that as well, you should come hang with us. A bunch of you did. It was really cool. So, yeah, anyway, tell you that as well. Baseball and football are awesome. That's right, Y2K. Strickland, people are giving Mims a lot of praise for what he might be, not for what he has done. It's pretty clear he hasn't impressed with play and practice in preseason. Saleh and LaFleur have seen good offense. Yeah, well, that's the thought, right? Is that he's not impressing in practice. But the thing is, every time he comes into a game, just look at the preseason and look at Sunday. He's had about 5% of the chances as a Berrios or a Jeff Smith or Corey Davis or whatever. It's like so limited. And every time he comes on the field, he does something. So what we like to call players like that, we call them gamers. There are guys that don't practice well. There are guys that are practice superstars. Now, Mims is young, right? So we don't know what his career is going to be. But when he came on the field last year with Flacco, he did very well. He was like, all of a sudden, he had the highest average of all the rookie wide receivers and all that sort of stuff. And then Sam stopped throwing him the ball. There were numerous occasions where Denzel Mims was wide open. One in particular would have been a touchdown. Sam stared at him, would not throw him the ball for whatever reason, then finally threw it after he was open for probably a solid 4 to 5 seconds. I mean, wide open. Sam finally threw it when the cornerback had time to recover and stop the pass. It was so I don't know what the deal is. I don't. There has to be something. But I think you're probably, Strickland, I think what you're saying is probably accurate. He doesn't practice well. Drops passes, shit like that. But when the game's on, like Baylor threw at the end of the game or in high stress, important positions, whenever Baylor was in that situation, they threw it to Mims. He was super clutch for them. Big moment, Mims. And so guys like that, you gotta get them out there. They're gamers. It's like Pirine with he runs a slow 40. It's like, well, when he's in games, there are numerous occasions with Pirine getting chased down the sideline, burning everybody down the sideline. Now, I'll never call him a blazing fast dude or anything like that, but he has much better game speed than he does when he's just taking tests. Gamer. Some guys are just like that, and you're not going to know what's really up until you put him out there. In my opinion, aside from injuries and all that, that is what it is. The receivers should be Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Denzel Mims. Sure, Keelan Cole's fine and all that sort of stuff. I have real high hopes for him. But I find it hard to believe that Keelan Cole is better than Denzel Mims. It's me. And I think it's time we know. Granted, it's been 1 week, right? So I get it. But last year was frustrating for me with Mims. But he's doing something, right, Strickland? There's something going on. And that's the thing with rookies. I mean, look what we're talking about with Elijah Moore. Of course, we think all this stuff about Elijah Moore for what he can do, not for what he's done. He didn't do anything yet. So lots of things, with rookies coming in, it's potential. That's what we're looking at, I think Mims has a ton of potential, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Me, I'd be playing that fella. Yeah, John Salty Nalty, for sure, man. Losing Carl Lawson was a stake in our chest. And I got to tell you, I believe it was probably more impactful than we even realize. Like, not only his on-the-field play, but his on-the-field presence in practices and all that stuff. Remember that one Jets drive? We saw him he was saying some really cool stuff. And one, he was saying we can't have off days. You're fighting for a job here, like all that. And there was a crowd of people around him, and he was speaking. And let me tell you, the vets were in there too. That wasn't just a group of young dudes. CJ Mosley was standing right there, eyes on Lawson, listening. That man is speaking right now. He had the respect. And I imagine he had the full respect of the coaching staff as well. So like losing him, it's bigger than just losing a pass rusher. It was his impact and effect on the whole. It's frustrating, man. It really is. It really is. Right, Jets forever. That's Mims is big play Mims. He's a star, and he was at Baylor, and he was for us. Like anybody watching Denzel Mims 2020 tape, if you just watch it. Dude, he had some very impressive catches. He showed that he can get yards after the catch. He broke tackles. He blocked on touchdowns. Like, I don't know what else we need to see from this guy to get him on the field. I just don't get it. Now, in fairness, this coaching staff wasn't there yet. So, clearly they're not impressed. And the fact that our excuse is, well, he's learning free positions. Like, why is he learning free friggin' position? Why don't you learn one and put him out there? Why does he have to know what that is? I don't know. That didn't sit well with me. Right. See, that's big, man. Y2K. I feel similarly. I mean, maybe the Chad injuries were really tough. Really tough. But that was a while ago now. Who else? What was a big injury for me? Well, two of them. I got really upset when Avery Williamson went down. I was so excited for Avery Williamson, a healthy Avery Williamson next to a CJ Mosley. I was psyched. about. I thought we were going to thump the NFL, and we would have. And then right on the heels of that, CJ Mosley goes down. Like, I was bummed about that. But I agree. Lawson, it's a fact. It's a toughie, man. It's a toughie. Let me see. Let me back it up a little bit. Well, Matt says maybe Matt Rhule was expecting Mims and had a plan to stop him, so we didn't give him any snaps. I know. I think it's a reach. You know, I mean, clearly Matt Rhule had plans for everybody because we did very little. And when Mims came on the field, he had a 40-yard catch. So, you know, I don't know. It's weird. I firmly believe that Matt Rhule had some intel. You know, it sucks. Tyson, I don't recall that being said about Becton. Becton practices very well. But the thing is, again, with Becton, we saw Becton last year, dude. I mean, he played very well. They were talking Pro Bowl, and he got rolled on. You know what I mean? For his injury. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do when a guy gets rolled on? Most of the time, they're going to go down. That's what happens. As far as his play, it goes right in line with the entire offensive line. I thought Becton looked like complete shit on Sunday, but that was not indicative of the guy we saw last year. I mean, he played in the NFL last year, and he was good. He was very good. So I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing, Tyson. I get it. I hear you, but I don't think it's the same. Becton, we're seeing play. You know, I mean, they're talking about in practice and everything. I mean, again, you know, Becton's it's the same thing. It's like, you know, as far as these friggin' injuries. I mean, like when you look at that draft class, I like that draft class a whole bunch as far as the players, but geesh, we can't. I mean, dude, and now man, oh my God, I didn't even really put that together yet. Braden Mann, you got. Wait, no, well, so Javelin Guidry is playing. He was an undrafted free agent. Bryce Huff is playing. He's an undrafted free agent. LaMichael Pirines hurt. Becton's hurt. Mims has been hurt in the preseason. Ashton Davis is hurt. Jabari Zuniga is hurt. Cam Clark is on IR. He's out for the year. 2 years in a row. And now Braden, did I say Braden Mann already? That's everybody, dude. It's the whole freaking Bryce Hall's it. Oh my God. I'm nervous all of a sudden, Tyson. Just freaked out a little bit. I got a little weird feeling right here. Like he's in danger. We got to protect our friends. How can we help him? How can we help him? Let's see what else we got. What's this? We need some indie media people to get press credentials so the real questions can be asked. Well, let me tell you something, Frankie. That's why they don't let us in. Jetnation has media credentials. I almost got in there this year, but I'm traveling and everything else. And I have the other channel, so it's kind of a little bit of conflict, but Jetnation's back in the house. They're back in the room. So they were there for years. And I think during the Gase year or just 2020 something, I think it was when Neil Glatt went down. Not went down, but when he got let go. But Jetnation's back in the house. But yeah, man, you can't let me in there. I mean, I'll be good. I promise. If you got Jets, you want to let me in, I would be good. I would ask questions though, but I wouldn't be. I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be fishing for gotchas. That's not what I would be doing. Like so many of these losers that we have covering the Jets. They're just so unimpressive. Our beat. Oh, did I, David? Where's that? Let me see. No way. No way. Where is it? All right. I'm sorry, David. Can you please write the question? I don't know how I missed it. Let me see something here. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to find it. Oh, for fuck's sake here. Hold on, buddy. There we are. Let me find this. Oh, yeah. Look, it gives me. Hold on. I want to see the live chat. Yeah, my bad, David. You know, that's like the biggest bullshit when somebody does that. I can't stand it. Yeah, I don't see it. It's gone. So, David, thank you for at least saying it, not feeling like, like you can't say that. That's bullshit. I should be able to see that. I was talking too much. If you could just write the question, David, I'll absolutely get to it. And my bad, my friend. You're a good dude, too. Is this it? All right. Well, thank you, David. Honestly, I do appreciate it. I'm sincerely apologizing. Like, I don't like that I did that. I'm going to, it fucking pisses me off. Let me just say that. Final point on Mims for me. You're telling me Corey Davis has to know the same routes as Crowder? I don't buy it at all. Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, so does Berrios have to learn all three? Does Jeff Smith have to learn all three? You know what I mean? Like, is that what's going on? And they were able to learn all three so they get to play when Mims is... You cannot tell me that Mims is not better than Jeff Smith. I won't buy it. Jeff Smith would have to have a full year of domination before I believe there's such a thing. So it sounds to me like what I hear there, David, is like we're making it harder for Mims to get on the field, and he hasn't done well with that yet. Like, you know what I mean? It bothers me. And look, and people are saying all kinds of stuff. Maybe he's not understanding the offense. But again, Mims, he's never had that moniker. And I mean, somebody wants to look it up and correct me if I'm wrong. I'll eat it. But I did a lot of work on Mims, and I don't remember that. I don't remember that being a part of his negatives, that he's stupid or that he's slow or any of that. It was more about route crispness, things like that. And then he had that wrist injury and had a bunch of drops when he had the broken wrist or broken hand. So there was that sort of stuff. I mean, he has stuff that he needs to develop and work on for sure. But there's enough there. And being slow to grasp concepts was not part of it, at least from my memory, which isn't always reliable, but still. So, yeah, man. My hope is this, that they understand. Like, you look at the offense too, right? Like, look at what we were dealing with last week. We could get nothing going. Like, we were having trouble getting anything going. Maybe putting someone in that's not having, like if the guy you have in before is not doing the job, not sparking the offense, hasn't been able to get open, Zach will find you if you're open most of the time, right? Zach will find you. If you're not getting open, let me put somebody else in there. We need something. I think that's what ultimately happened. They said, fucking Mims, go in there. And he got open. And I know it wasn't like he put on some great move and got open, but he was open. Whatever he did, it worked. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And thanks again, David. I do. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't know, Sir Robin. I mean, it's weird because Becton looked like it's hard to tell with just looking at somebody. Like, if a big guy loses some weight, our first thought is he's in shape, right? That's just what we think. But we don't know what it really means. Like, what is the weight that he lost? What did he do? And I'm no fitness guru, but that's like pretty surface 101 type of stuff. You don't know exactly what the weight is that he lost or how he did it or how beneficial it is. So, but we look at it and we think, oh, he looks great, but it could be a negative. But so I don't know if he was in better shape last year or this year. But what I can say is that this offensive line, these concepts are known to be complex, right? Now, we've heard that before with Adam Gase's offense. Remember Le'Veon Bell? This is the most complex offense I've ever looked at. Oh, that's what's going on. So I don't want to sit on that comfortably like, oh, it's too complex. Like, if it's too complex and your players aren't getting it, then it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to communicate your schemes to people that are going to be employing it, right? That is what a coach is. You have to be able to convey and communicate your plans to people that are going to be using them so they can be effective. If they cannot understand them, and you have 5 and ultimately 6 guys on the line that just can't figure it out, then that's you, dude. That's your coaching. That's you. You know, believe me, I've been a manager and a director for a long time. One of the things I used to always do with my staff, I've staffed hundreds of people, right? And I would know, like, I would think, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Why do I have 85 idiots working here today? Whenever I thought like that, it's me. It's not 85 idiots. There's one idiot. It's me. And I would always ask people, you know, I would say to them, like, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm talking to a room and I'm conveying my points, my directives, and I can see that there's like looking around or there's like glazed looks, and I would say to people, what are you hearing me say? What are you hearing right now? Or if they're like upset or something, I would say, what are you hearing? Tell me, convey back to me, express my ideas back to me so I can see where it is that the disconnect is. And 9 times out of 10, they would go, well, what I'm hearing is this. And I would think, and I go, oh yeah, it does sound like that. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. What I really meant, and I would have to reshape my presentation to them, right? If our offensive line can't get it, if Becton's swimming, AVT's swimming, Greg Van Roten and Fant are bumping into each other over here, like something's wrong. It's the coach's job to go, okay, what can I do here? Let's go back to this. Just do this. Let's go back to a simple pass pro. Just block your guy. Go to man. Just go to man. Don't die on a hill. There's no reason to die on a hill. You change, you adjust, and you protect that poor fella getting beat up in his first NFL game. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, so I don't know. I know you were talking about Becton being in shape, but I kind of spread it out there. But that's the thing. So it's hard to tell. But it's unfortunate because Becton is clearly a talented player, man. Now, if you remember Brickishaw Ferguson, and I want to bring this out because it's very important. People like to forget. Like, we're already labeling guys busts and all that. That's Jets fans, what we do. We've been through a lot, man, as a fan base. We've been through a lot. Okay? I always give tons of leeway with Jets fans because we're, shit, man. We've endured more than most. Maybe Detroit has, but Cleveland and, up till last year. But when we start labeling guys busts, we have to remember that we have numerous examples of guys that were being labeled busts and they just needed a little time. Brickishaw Ferguson is a fantastic example. He had a decent rookie year. He came out his second year and he had all kinds of clams. He had difficulty. And around his third year, he still looked okay, but he was looking like, he's never going to be more than an average. Oh, Merrill, hold on, guys. The cam. It turned off. Hold on. I got to see this. I'm just going to hold on. Sorry. My camera battery. That's the second battery I killed tonight. So I'm just going to unplug this thing. Hold on. It's fine.
Good?
Yeah, I'll just finish it with this. I'll just stick like this. We're good, right, guys? We're good? Sorry. I'm just like blah, 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 blah. I don't notice anything. Probably a light like I'm dying. We'll wrap it up with with this camera for tonight. That's 2 batteries I went to. I've been talking on camera for a long time tonight. So anyway, my point is that the Brickishaw Ferguson came around and was a pretty damn good left tackle. He was never like the best left tackle in the NFL. He did go to, I think it was 3 Pro Bowls, maybe 3 or 4. So he was among the best for more than one, a few years. And there was, other years where he was among the best, didn't get voted for Pro Bowl, but he was never like Anthony Munoz or Orlando Pace or Jonathan Ogden, or he was never that guy. But he was a very good left tackle for a long time. Never got hurt too, so there's that. But there were many Jets fans. Like, I've been on Jets forums before Twitter existed. I've been talking with hundreds and thousands of Jets fans. Matthias Simon can tell you. We've been hanging together since the 90s on chat boards and message boards and stuff. So there were so many Jets fans calling Brickishaw Ferguson a jag. And it's one of those things. You can see he has talent. Let's give him a second. You know, I think Becton falls in line with that. He might have a complete turd of a season. Still doesn't mean anything. He had a very good year last year. Very good. If he didn't get that shoulder injury, in my opinion, if we didn't rush him back when he got that shoulder injury, so he re-injured it, if we would have let him sit another week, maybe, I think he would have finished the year, and we would have been talking about potential Pro Bowl. Okay, so that's the kind of year he had. Now he has things to work on, right? We're not saying he's a finished product. He still relies too much on his size and strength, but his technique is improving. Not Sunday. He looked lost to me. I noticed it from play one. So, Becton doesn't look right. He needs to settle down. But then I noticed the whole line looks like that. I'm like, what's going on? Why did they miss that guy? Why did Burns just come in free? What the hell's that? So, you know. Yeah, I think, but Becton didn't have a Pro Bowl year. They were talking about it up till about, what was it? Like, I don't know, 10 weeks in the season, something along. They were talking about him being in the conversation. I don't think he would have gotten it even if he made it through the year. You know, maybe, but it doesn't matter. He had a good rookie year, you know? So a guy like Becton, it might take a little bit. He's got to see, look, he learned the system last year. He's got to learn a whole new wide zone blocking scheme this year. All new players around him, right? I mean, it's a lot. But our coaches have to be able to convey their ideas properly. And it doesn't look to me that has been accomplished. And I think that's the problem. The good news is John Benton is widely considered one of the upper echelon offensive line coaches in the NFL. He's been doing it for 26 years. So there's hope. You know what I mean? There's hope. Jeremy, what'd you do? Did you send me a picture of a super chat? Let me see. I think that was, there it is. Oh, that's funny. Let me, so I see it, David. I mean, we got to it, right? But I'm seeing it right now. That was at 8:03 p.m. Oh, I'm like, what? He's in California. So thank you, Jeremy. What a nice guy. He was yelling at me earlier about some stupid shit, but now he's being nice again. There it is. I didn't see any of these comments. I was just talking. So let's do this real quick. What do you guys think about the let's be honest. Like, look, we tried to do our schedule prediction last week, and we were still in Louisville, right? We came out with 11-6. Do we really think we're beating the Pats? What do you guys think? Are we really doing it? No, I don't think he's ever been called a guru, which that term is, it's one of those things that's it's a bugaboo for me. It just is. It always was. It's like diva, like guru, diva, those names. I don't like the word swagger. They're just bugaboos. You have gurus in there for me. I don't know why. But I think he's just known as a very good offensive line coach. I don't know if he's ever been labeled that guru, but he's one of those guys. He's done very well for a very long time with numerous offensive lines on a handful of different teams too. So he's the counterbalance. Him and Napper were the counterbalance to LaFleur and Calabrese. That's why bringing Matt Cavanaugh in was so good. At least I think it is. Who knows? Matt Cavanaugh could be going like this with LaFleur right now. They could have very different ideas. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, emergency management, right, Frankie? Yeah, well, that's what you got to do sometimes. You know what I mean? You got to do it. You got to, there's different types of management, coaching, different types. You can be a really great coach intellectually and systemically and do all these great game plans. But then if things don't go your way, this was Gase's problem, in my opinion. Besides him just being a complete jerk off, he was unable to kind of look at a situation that wasn't what he expected and change to it. He just, nope, this is what we're going to do. I've done my research. This is what we're going to do. You know? I'm working now with, so David Gerard again. He says, I'm working now as a dock operations manager, but emergency management in Manhattan, which is a dream job of mine. Very nice. Good luck, dude. Good luck. Everybody send David some positive vibes, man. That's awesome. Like we had a guy on yesterday. I did a real quick live stream last night. Jetnation, not my Jetnation, but the one I'm with, but Jet Space Nation. And it turns out he's a varsity football player, and he was telling us about his just won a game with his team, and he was all excited. It's like, yeah, I love it, man. I love when we get to kind of support each other in that respect. Like, dude, I want you to get, this is your dream job, this is what you want. I am sending out those vibes, man. Love and light, my friend. Like, sincerely, I hope you get it. That's awesome. Me, I haven't worked in a long time. I gotta probably get a job soon. This shit ain't working. I resigned when I resigned my executive role in I guess it was like the end of 2019, maybe 2018. I resigned, and then I did another year and a half of just like another role. I just said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And that was a much lesser role, but I haven't worked for them since February of 2020. So it's been a minute. But I'm rooting for you, David Gerard. Hell yeah. Dude, tell me about, you know what, man? Tom Coleman I just missed it. Where'd it go? Tom Coleman said something. This is one of the biggest disappointments for me so far. And you guys know I made video after video about, excuse me, I'm going to wipe this clean. It looks a little blurry. Video after video about the awesome redesigning of our medical staff. I'm disappointed. He said it. Tom's like, they got their work cut out for them. Hell yeah. I just think the Jets curse we didn't change the energy in the house yet. We're working on it. And I think ultimately it'll pay dividends. I don't see how it couldn't unless the doctors are just complete losers. You know what I mean? What if they all suck? But yeah, dude, this is unexpected. I can't even imagine right now. Think about this. Playing an NFL game and having no injuries. Can you imagine it? I can't. That's a problem. I don't even know what that would be like. I'm like thinking which guys are going to get injured this week. We had a bunch. Sherwood, Cashman, Mann, Becton, LaMarcus Joyner. Dude, we got crushed. And we were already decimated. Crazy. We're bringing guys on from the street who are going to end up starting for us. Not a good look, man. It's hard to have any success like that. So, Gator McCluskey, thank you for the super chat, man. Belichick won't lose 2 in a row. Not going to be easy. And Norm Macdonald, rest in peace. F cancer, gone too soon. The original fake news master. Absolutely, Gator. Absolutely, man. I love Norm Macdonald. He was so comfortable being politically incorrect. Like he had such a little niche that he carved out for himself. Did you ever watch the Norm Macdonald show, his talk show for the last few years? It was fucking brilliant, man. Brilliant. Uncomfortable at times. That's how good it was. You're like, ooh, I don't know, Norm. He passed away today. Blew my doors off. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. And I'm kind of, I'm not going to say I watch him all the time, but he's still in my peripheral. You know what I mean? He's still here for me. I listen to him. I watch him at times. Came out of nowhere for me. So yeah, man, it's sad, dude. Sad. 61 years old. Sheesh. 61. That's young, man. I don't feel bad for people once they get to like 75. It's not to say I want anyone, but that's like, okay. Anything past 75 is like, okay. At least it makes sense. Like I said, I don't think that's old. But in the 60s, man, even the early 70s, I think like shit. Sad. My grandma passed away at 70. My other one was like 95, though. So, but anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough. Belichick 2 in a row. Here's the thing. We got to remember, we don't know who Belichick is without Tom Brady, really. Now, last year was kind of a weird year. He had the most opt-outs. He was playing with a brand new quarterback, lots of injuries, like all that sort of stuff. So, we don't know. But we don't know how great he is. Tom Brady went right down to an organization. Granted, they had a lot of talent. Right down to an organization that hadn't made the playoffs in 10 years or more. Whatever it was, something like that. They were an unsuccessful franchise. And they had a first-round quarterback and all. They had Mike Evans and Godwin, all those guys. He went down there, and in one season, they went to and won the Super Bowl while Belichick didn't make the playoffs. So I think there's a desperation in New England that has not been there in a long time. I think, and Gilmore's not playing, rookie quarterback. I think I look, I don't want to be overconfident, and I don't want to say like the pig is ripe for the slaughter or anything like that. But I think that there is more potential to change what we expect playing the Patriots now than any time during Brady's career. That's what I think. But you're right. That second line you put there, it's not going to be easy. That it's not. But I'd like to see us come out with some pride. Like Saleh saying, okay, we went down there. We looked like shit. We lost. We fought back. That's all great. But not here. Not in our house. Not here. We must catch those passes. We must pick up those stunts. And everybody's on absolute fire. If we come out and we play hard and we just play efficient, not all those mistakes. If we just do that, we're winning this game. That's what I think. Mother effer. Thank you, though. V-Man, I just sent you my channel link on Instagram. Okay. I'll get it right now, buddy. All right. So, V-Man, I forget what it was now. Forgive me. But you were trying to show us something. Last week we were talking. You were trying to show us something, but I wanted to show. Let me see. Let me see. I don't see it, buddy. General. Hold on. I don't see it. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's a Rick. There you are. Okay. I got it. I got it, man. You're in my I got to approve you pile. That's where you are. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So V-Man, let me see. Make sure. Let me just ask you this. Number one, I can't like show a long thing, right? You know. But number two, is it appropriate? I'm going to look at the bottom right now. Are you appropriate? Tom Brady's last pass is a pat, I think. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Goodbye, Sam Darnold. Mekhi Becton and Elijah Vera Tucker, Smash Bros. Cash screw up. Let me see. I don't know, V-Man. Which one do you want me to? Goodbye, Patriots? Goodbye, Tom Brady? Is that what it is? All right, I'll play. Hold on. Let me share my screen. All right, so this is our boy V-Man. Let me share my screen real quick. Right. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to have to take my headphones off so you guys can hear it. All right. Okie dokie. Super slowy. Here I come. Here I'm coming. All right. All right, here it is. So this is from our boy V-Man. I hope it's appropriate. I hope you don't get me in trouble with YouTube or anything like that. But here it is. Let's see what we got here. Let me clean it up here. Hold on. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Good. Look at him. Yeah. Tom Brady falling on his face. I tell you, man. It was a rough 20 years with this guy. Okay. Okay. We get it. It's good. That's fun. Thanks, V-Man. I appreciate it, my friend. Hold on. Let me just get that off. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was pretty neat. You know, it's funny. It's just crazy to see, like when you see him, even with the Bucks, right? Like, you know, famously last week there was the offensive pass interference, which I don't care what anybody. You can go either way. I like when the refs let him play. Dude, that was offensive pass interference, and it wasn't called because Brady. That's my opinion on it. And it's like I can't believe that everybody's like okay with it. It's like the NFL is just okay. It's like the thing with Belichick. Like, I know Belichick has been caught cheating 3 times. Caught red-handed cheating. Like, he's got all kinds of shady, weird stuff going on, but he's been caught cheating by the NFL. Yet he is still lauded as somebody, like one of the greatest coaches of all times. Of all time. Of all times. Of all time. You know what I mean? Like, why is this allowed? One time, penalty. Second time, warning. Third time, get out of the league, dude. I don't care how much people like you. You're a piece of shit. That's what I see it. Like, we want to promote sportsmanlike. They're calling celebration penalties now, right? You can't even raise your hand. They'll get you. Like, what is all that when we let a coach cheat? You know what I'm saying? Look, and that, how many times, look, anybody who's ever gotten a DUI or something like that, you get caught with a DUI, you get a certain penalty. You get caught again, you get certain penalties. Let me ask anybody, you don't have to even ask, just rhetorical. Do you think that was their first time driving drunk? Do you think that was their second time driving drunk? No, those are the 2 times they were caught because they're doing something consistently enough to get caught. Anybody can tell you, like, whenever you're caught doing somebody gets caught cheating on their spouse. I mean, more than likely, that's what they do. And they got caught, So in my opinion, Belichick, as great as he is as a defensive mind and all those things, can't take it from him. But come on, dude, he's garbage. We're trying to teach these kids all this stuff about sportsmanlike, and this and that, all the stuff we do. It's like, it's crazy. So thank you, V, man. I can just a little bit long for what we're doing, but yeah, I love a nice collection of Tom Brady throwing picks. Hell yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sending that to me. I appreciate it. I'll like and subscribe to your page too, which brings me, let me say this. I didn't say it once yet. We've been here for an hour and a half. If you haven't liked the video, please do. It helps the algorithm. You guys know it's helpful. It's very helpful. Number 2, if you're not subbed to my channel, it would be really appreciated if you did. That would be a great thing. If you haven't subscribed to Full-Time Coaster Tour, I haven't put a video up there in 2 weeks. I'm going to put one up this week. If you haven't gotten to Full-Time Coaster Tour and hit that sub button, that would be greatly appreciated as well. And I have Patreon. So, and I'm just the foundation is laid on Patreon. You guys get early release of the podcast. We do the weekly Discord hangouts. I'm starting to make some Patreon specific content, and we're going to have video chats, where you guys can hang out with me and all kinds of cool stuff, man. So anyway, if you like what I do and you think, hey man, I could throw that guy $10 a month, something like that, 5, 10, 25 a month, whatever it is, that would be appreciated as well. The link is going to be in the description of this video. If it's not there yet, I think it is. It'll be in every other video that I do. The Patreon link is there. So anyway, there it is. There's my pubic service announce. There you go. Praying for no rain. I hear that. Okay, let me see what we got here. Yeah, that's it, Vervain. It's like, look, everybody gets injuries. Everybody. Very few teams make it through alive, right? But with us, to have the freak ones, like, Connor McDermott getting kicked in the knee, somebody falling on Jared Davis's knee. It's like, just weird. Like, it's the exact way that it can't happen. Mekhi Becton getting rolled on. Like, come on, man. Come on. Carl Lawson, who's just the one of the finest physical specimens that we have in the NFL. Just perfect, flawless regimen. Achilles. It's like the Greek myth, right? He's weak in the Achilles because he was dipped in the superpowers or whatever. And though they held his Achilles, so that's why his Achilles tendon was his weakness. It's like, it's very true with Carl Lawson. It's like he was impervious everywhere else. He was just rock solid. Little tiny dot of a place on his body. Snap. It's crazy. I hate it. So it bothers me, man. Like, I'm just like, come on, dude. So V-Man, afterwards you got to watch how the Jets hired Adam Gase. That's a barrel left. If it's on your channel, I'll watch. I'll peruse your channel for a little bit. And like I said, I'll give you a sub too, V-Man. And thanks, buddy. I appreciate the contribution. Like, I sincerely do. I love when you guys send me stuff. I love chatting with you guys in here, and I love chatting with you guys out there. I'm really psyched to meet a bunch of you, man. If you guys are going to go to the game, I hope that you'll, even if it's just 5 minutes, I hope that you'll take the time to make it over to where we are. Me, O'Leary, and Ryan, and Sack Exchange is going to be there, in addition to everybody from the Gotham City crew. Like, it's going to be cool. I'll be with Jetnation for a little while, but this is a calmer Jetnation tailgate. It's just the family and stuff like that. But I'll go over there and hang with them for a while. But Jetnation is doing their big tailgate, like their event for the Titans game, which I can't be at. Sucks. I got offered tickets to that too, man. By very cool dude. Offered me tickets and a parking pass, and I can't make it up. It's a bummer. But anyway, so if you guys are going to the game, please just consider coming over. Hang, even if it's 5 minutes, just to say hello. Say, hey, man, I'm Jets Forever, or I'm Scott Wilson, or I'm Frankie from Flatbush, whatever. That would be awesome. Kyle Donkersloot, right? What's up, buddy? So it would be cool. Like, look, John Amarello can tell you, right, John? He's talking to Frank, but John can tell you. John came to the Coney Island thing that we did. That was a friggin' blast, man. It was just big enough that we had a good time. It wasn't just like 3 of us hanging out, but it was small enough that it wasn't like, you know, a million people or anything like that. But it was such a good collection of dudes. Liam was there, George. There was a bunch of us, but it was just such a cool thing. Like, it was bigger than just riding the Cyclone, which was in and of itself was a beautiful, fun thing to do. But we got to go to Nathan's. Then we rode the Thunderbolt. We walked around Coney Island, saw the carousel. Then we went and had L&B Spumoni Gardens pizza. It was like, what a day. What a day. Matthias has a page on it's on Facebook. It's called The Greenhouse. Is it still called The Greenhouse, Matt? I think I found it through just Matt Simon. I think. Forgive me. But Matt used to run a forum back in the olden days, man. The Greenhouse. That was my favorite. That was my home. That was my Jets home for years. We came from Rivals, right? Came from the old Rivals boards. And when Rivals fell under, everybody went. Jetnation popped up, Jets Insider popped up, and Greenhouse popped up, and I went with Matt. Matt 56. That's my boy. You just wait. So David, let me see what you're saying here. Oh, you don't know if you're going? Yeah, Liam was there, right? It was great, buddy. It was a good time. Like, I had a sincerely good time. John is asking where I'm going to be. I'm going to be the Tailgater is in Lot J. Now, I don't know exactly where it is in Lot J, but if I remember, I went to a game the opening day of Adam Gase's tenure. I went to that game with my son, and I hung out at Jetnation's Tailgater. But I remember walking by the Gotham City crew. I never heard of them before. Never. That was my first introduction. They had about 100 people with music and screaming and chants and everything. And that was 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, 3 seasons ago, 1 to 2 years ago. So from what I understand, there's like waiters, like there's wait staff, there are shot girls, like all kinds of cool stuff, DJ. And it's like $60 to, all you can eat and drink. $60, all you can eat and drink, dude. Like, you cannot beat that. You can't. So that doesn't come with a ticket, but anyway, we'll be hanging out. That's where we're going to like kick our feet up and hang out. Like I said, we got some places to see, some people to see and everything, but we're going to hang out for the long haul, probably at Gotham City Cruise Tailgater. So that's in Lot J. And then I'm sitting in, I think O'Leary and I are sitting in 310. Ryan's in 315. So we're kind of close to each other. We can eyeball each other, I bet, when something good happens, But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, don't scalp, David. These days, you don't know, man. They can reproduce fake tickets that look great. You get to the gate, and they're like, that ain't a ticket. And actually, I don't even think you can have paper tickets anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's all digital now. Electronic, they call it. That'd be great. Well, look, David, I'm going to tell you right now, if you go on NewYorkJets.com, you can get tickets. It'll take you to Ticketmaster to the actual stadium site. It'll show you which tickets are still available. There are still $75 tickets in there. Now they're way up top. But, and then like if you want like the bottom of the upper level, like closer to the, the first few rows in the upper level though, they're like 120 something, 125. So it's not too bad. It's not the olden days. I remember $20 tickets, man. We would wake up on Sunday and there would always be my buddy. There would always be Jets tickets in his mailbox. Everybody was giving them away back in the day. I go, hey man, anybody drop off tickets? Yeah, I got 4 tickets. All right, let's go. That's what we did. It's crazy. I went to every game for like, I don't know, man, every single game for 8 or 9 years. Terrible times. Coslet, Carroll, Kotite, and then the beginning of Parcells. It's crazy, man. 7 years, maybe? Yeah, I hope you do, John. I hope you guys do. You do, Tyson. But they're going to be, they're playing in Denver this year. I think they're playing, is Indy home? Or they might, I know that they're playing in Denver. So you might want to get out. I'm not sure where you are in the Midwest, but Denver's pretty close to that. But either way, I would think you would rather, if you're going to travel for a game, come to a Jets game at home in the beginning of the season before we suck. Once we start sucking, everybody sells their tickets to the opposing fans, and then it ends up being the worst. You don't want to go in there when it's like that. At least I don't. I hate it. I hate being surrounded by other teams' fans in my own stadium. I can't stomach it. It makes me sick. It's funny. I had an argument. They said, well, maybe if you went, you and more people like you actually went, then it would be different. I say, I hear you. I do. I'm totally with that logic. But I'm only me and I'm not going. Like when the Raiders come, or even the Giants, or Dallas, Pittsburgh, Miami, it's terrible. If we're winning, it's fine. It's great. Or even if we're just competitive, it's great. But when we're like last 2 years where we have no wins, week 6, or we're 2-8, or whatever it is. Last year we were 0-11. It's like it's hard to get people. And as you go to a Jets game, it's all opposing teams' fans and season ticket holders just going to use their tickets. You're in Indy Thursday night. Oh, so you can do that too. That's a great stadium too, I've heard. A little bit older now, but that's a good one. So yeah, man. Matt, you never told me, are you going or not? I've been asking you for like 3 different streams now. I asked you on Monday night. All you kept talking about was the Raiders game. You were out of your mind. You were so excited. You were losing it watching that game. Let's see. I want to hear a "We Want Mims" chant if they refuse to put him in. Now, Frankie, let me tell you, I'm going to be upstairs, but I'm in the bottom of upstairs. I'm in the first, I think, 3 rows of upstairs. So I could yell over the top, "We want Mims," see if it gets going. I'll try. Oh, nice. You won the tickets? John Amorello won the tickets. How cool is that? That's fantastic. So, Matt, are you going? Kenneth, the Kentucky Fam Trust Channel. What's up, buddy? Kenneth, the Kentucky Fam Trust Channel. It's a lot of words, Kenneth. Good for you, buddy. Welcome to town. Welcome to town. Jets by Jimmy's around. I saw him on a stream. What was it? Monday, maybe? I saw him. I don't know if he's. I think I saw him last week too. I checked into Weapons Hot. He and CJ were doing a show, so I popped in to say hello. Oh, you can't make it, buddy. There it is. Okay. I think it would have to be, "We want Mims. We want Mims." That was nice and understandable. Denzel. Maybe that's not that might work actually, Hank. That might work. Well, I'm sorry you can't come, Matt. I was going to insist that you and I at least get a handshake in, buddy. You know what I mean? Maybe even a hug if you're not afraid of my beard. I don't know what you look like either anymore. You could be a recluse with crazy hair these days. You used to have a beard, though, I remember. All right. So we're going to do it. We're going to wrap this one up, guys. I think we've had a nice time, right? Not a bad night. Lots and lots. We've been talking Jets for the past 4 hours. We got an hour and 45 minutes in the after hours, whatever fest, after 2 hours over at the Talking Jets panel, Jets Talk 27. So again, please don't forget to like the video. If you haven't subbed yet, super cool if you do. And if you can take the time, go over to Full-Time Coaster Tour, give me a like over there. That's what I'm doing out here, taking my kids on every roller coaster in the country, and among other stuff. But yeah, and if you like what I do and you want to help me out, support me and show some love, my Patreon information is in the top of the description of this and every video I make. So guys, love you. I hope you have a great night, and I appreciate you being around. Let me see here. You guys are just the best. and have a good night and go Jets.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.
We competing today. I see some gas off the edge. Getting that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop, you're finished,
Hey, first down.